this extra special extended food series. We're getting an in-depth look at Turkey's most outrageous street food.
This is one of the most unusual organs I've ever seen. I can't believe this is food.
But first, let's back up. Istanbul is the capital of Turkey, and it happens to be right on the border of Europe and Asia. In this country and in this city, you'll find food flavors like nowhere else.
Take a look at this. Who doesn't want to be the guy in the restaurant with a fire at his table?
Especially when it comes to the meat.
All these strands, these are not noodles, this is all intestine.
From 300-pound meat towers, all the way to kebabs over 6 feet long.
I'm like proud of this restaurant. I'm like, guys, you did something so cool.
This city of 15 million is a food lover's paradise, populated by some of the most hospitable people in the world.
There's a lot of brain.
And the perfect place to start this food journey is in the streets, eating Turkish street food for 24 hours. This is simit. It's the most ubiquitous street food in the city. Eat it for a snack or grab one for breakfast. Simit is a chewy, ring-shaped bread covered with sesame seeds.
The sesame seeds give it a ton of flavor because they're so toasted.
Street bread is great, but I'm looking for something a little more substantial.
It is 9 in the morning, we are just starting the day, and we are starting with breakfast. We've come to a very typical Turkish breakfast spot. This is basically the Denny's of Turkey, although way better. Let's go inside and check it out. So this is the kitchen right behind me. There are some orders that are about to go out. If you sneak around here, you can see somebody has ordered some fried bread, some tea, even French fries for breakfast. It's amazing. I'm gonna go inside and figure out what's going on. We are starting with a local fried bread known as pishi. This one is gonna be stuffed with this, pastrami, and also a little bit of cheese. So he starts with the dough, he flattens it out, he's put some oil on the counter already. He just gets a little rip of pastrami and then some cheese on top too. Close it up like an envelope, almost like an empanada. Give it a bit of a crimp, and that is gonna head off to the oil. Very nice. Welcome to breakfast. It's big, it's heavy. I mean, obviously all this could feed probably enough for 3 to 4 people. Let's do a quick tour of the table. First of all, right here we have the minimum. We have feta cheese, some cheese I don't know, and then another cheese that I don't know. I'm gonna have some bread, and then right here we have a beautiful tomato paste. Olives for breakfast. Mixed salad. This is clotted cream with honey on top. We have pishi. This is a fried bread with cheese and pastrami inside. I'm just gonna rip it right open, and we're gonna see the cheese oozing, melting, and then he put a pretty conservative amount of pastrami on there. That is the money bite right there. I'm gonna go for it. Oh, delicious. The pastrami is like a little bit dry, super oily. This to me is a very heavy breakfast. I love this, but I don't know, I could eat half of these. How does a country with people eating this stay productive? It's probably no different than Americans eating donuts, but if I ate this for breakfast, about 2 hours later, I'd be sleeping in my cubicle under the desk. Next, right here, we have the main course. This is the menemen.
If you're looking for a classic Turkish breakfast, go for the menemen. It starts with a combination of tomato paste and green chilies, and soon some eggs. But the toppings here are endless. This morning, I'm going with the spicy sausage. Then they add some eggs and some mozzarella cheese. It's not a soup, it's not an omelet, it's menemen.
Take a look at this. You can see the big chunks of sausage. One thing you have to remember, whenever you're in a Muslim country like this, that is not gonna be pork sausage. Let's stop talking, let's try it out. Oh, how do you even categorize that? It is like a very wet omelet. I mean, obviously super tomatoey. There's not really a spice to it. It's not spicy, but you can taste the fresh green chilies inside as well. I'm still trying to figure out if this is a spicy country or not. So far, my instincts tell me not really. So that is just the beginning of our day. We are eating Turkish food for 24 hours, which is not gonna be that hard because we're in Turkey. Let's keep moving.
Most of Turkey's borders are surrounded by water, and in those waters, you'll find these. One of the most unique street foods in Istanbul, mussels, but with a little bit of a twist.
22 years ago, the owner of this establishment started on the street with his little platter, and it was so popular, or he got investments, or he went on Shark Tank, and then somehow he pitched them on making a whole restaurant with multiple flavors of mussels, and here we are. All right, let's go inside the kitchen. I didn't actually ask permission. Let's see if they get wise to what I'm doing. No reaction so far. Boom. boom. And now I work here. So right here, I've ordered some of the spicy mussels. He puts it in the steamer. Once those are hot, they're gonna come right out. All right, just like that. And right now you can see he opens up each one and he puts it on the plate for us, and you can just eat it right out of the shell like a spoon. They also have some more modern mussel dishes right here. Fried mussels on a stick. I'm gonna try that out too. So right here we have 3 different courses, and I don't know, if you're a pirate in the 1700s, this is another course you might want to. So we have fried mussels and then 2 others right here. I wanna stick with the fried ones immediately because they're hot and crispy and I don't want them to cool down and get soggy or anything like that. I feel like this is something you would see at the Minnesota State Fair. It's on a stick, it's fried, but with it comes a very unique and interesting sauce. A sauce full of breadcrumbs, garlic, vinegar, salt, and walnuts. Let's try it out. Oh wow, that's a delicious sauce. Slightly sour, really thick, very lovely. And these mussels, my gosh, look how crispy this thing is. The way he cooked it is so interesting. He employed a frying technique I've never seen before in my life. The mussels have already been battered, floured. They're on this tray here, getting the oil ready. First he puts it in the solution here of mineral water and baking soda. He says it's gonna make it even more crispy, but I've never seen anything like that. I wanna try one just alone. You can really feel the crunchiness, but you can taste the mussel too, and the mussels taste great. So this is a more modern take on mussels, but I'm a real traditionalist. So right here, we have the OG version. To be honest, when I first saw people selling mussels on the street, it freaked me out a little bit because I was looking for ice. I was looking for some way to preserve the mussels because sometimes it can still get hot here. Now that I see inside, I see how it's prepared, it makes a little bit more sense to me. I mean, the rice is in there, the mussels cooked already, and the shell's like a little lunchbox, keeping it fresh.
Mussels, or midye dolma, must have a fresh squeeze of lemon before you throw them back.
I secretly want him to feed me. Oh, right here, right here. Here, a green lemon. In the sunlight, it's glistening. It balances it out a little bit. Enough talking, let's try this mussel. Oh, so many thoughts and emotions. You can see if I remove the mussel, there is a load of rice in there. Oh, it's like a little taco. So you can see some of the seasonings on there too, the pepper, the cinnamon. When is the last time you had mussels with cinnamon? So this right here is a spicy version of this. The only difference is they put some chili paste on there as well. Give it some lemon, and let's try it out. Oh, it's a little bit spicy. It's got a little bit of kick. I respect it. That's got to be the spiciest thing I've had so far in Turkey. Oh wait, I've been dying to ask this since I was a kid. Do you guys eat turkey?
Yeah, for New Year's, US especially.
For New Year's?
Yeah.
Turkey eats turkey. So that is mussels in Turkey. It's a completely different approach to this seafood, one I've never seen before, but it's really fun to try out. We've just entered a Turkish pickle shop here. They pickle everything you can imagine. Let's take a quick tour. These are 2 different types of chilies. Garlic, they pickle pickles. Here we have carrots. They've got chilies, they've got small pickles. They just pickle the whole cabbage, basically. They've got cauliflower, they've got jalapenos, they have okra, a little bit of everything. I'm gonna get kind of a grab bag of random pickles. Let's go for it.
In Turkey, you'll find pickled veggies of all kinds. Then there's the pickled fruits and even just some straight up pickled juice.
Some pickling I see going on in this establishment is downright reckless. I saw pine cone somewhere. You can't pickle a pine cone. You can't even eat a pine cone, can you? I want to try this first. This is an unripe plum. That's interesting because it tastes like a little sour apple. This is a pickled unripe melon. They begged me to slice it and I said no. So let's see how much I regret that. Probably slicing it would be a good idea. Very intense, different from a cucumber type pickle. I like it. I give this one a passing grade. Of course, if the pickles get to be too much, you can cleanse your palate with pickle juice. And I believe they've garnished it with a pickle. I heard they have a giant bottle in the back with a pickled body. Oh, that's not bad. The weirdest among us have finished all their pickles and thought, I'll drink some pickle juice, right? Here they have a cabbage bundle. It's like a pickled vegetable roll. Ugh. Wow, this would be so good if you sliced it up a little bit. They have like really finely minced cabbage and carrots and stuff in there. It tastes quite good. Here, finally, they pickled an entire eggplant. That's the weirdest one so far. Overall, I love the way they prepare it. I think the move here would be cut everything small, have it with something else, have it with beer or wine or your meal, in between other heavy bites, in between heavy meat or cheese, and it sounds pretty good. I don't think anyone's meant to just eat it this way, unless you're just a complete animal.
Our final location is cooking up kebabs on a massive scale. You may be familiar with the famous glittering Turkish doner kebabs, but this is also a kebab, and this is a kebab too, Firin kebab.
Welcome to Kuvence Gyondela. This is a restaurant specializing in all things lamb meat. I've got the meat man right next to me right here. We're gonna do a quick meat tour.
Furin kebab is made from giant chunks of lamb meat, slow cooked in their own animal oils for hours.
Right there, we have a lamb shank. With one flick of the spoon, the meat just comes right off. So you can see how extremely soft and tender that meat is. Do you wanna try some too? Oh, just me? All right. Oh my love. It's so oily, so rich, juicy, and decadent. Incredibly soft, gentle lamb flavor. We are gonna order this, but we're gonna order a few different meat selections and then see how they prepare it. This looks like a lamb neck right here. We've got the shoulder. Oh, he has to stop after this. I could not possibly eat this in a week. This is so much meat. He just gives a thumbs up. He's like, yeah, take it. You came to the wrong place if you're not hungry.
Next, the plate is covered with a thin layer of dough before heading straight to the oven.
Time has passed, and this is complete. Next, this is what I call a long Turkish pizza. It takes a lot of skill to not tear this, to not put a hole into the dough itself. Next comes a big heaping mound of chopped lamb, tomato, green pepper, parsley, just a plethora of ingredients inside. He says to the baker, good luck. So he puts it to the very tippy tip of this giant wooden oar. This could be used to propel a ship. Right now, it's being used to cook pizza. Traditionally, it's just gonna be made with meat, but here you can see one that's just been made with delicious, gooey, bubbling cheese. All right, ours is about to come out in one moment. Boom, look at that thing. That is massive. Chef, thank you, amazing. So we've just received our first course right here, about 3 feet of food. I like to measure my food in feet. It looks like we have some fried chilies, some lemon, that meat sauce on top, and then some cilantro too, I believe. They have chopped it up to make it much easier to eat. I should have kept it in one piece, but I forgot to let them know. It is super thin, and that meat has really just kind of been embedded into the dough. It's surprisingly soft in the middle and kind of crunchy on the edges. You can see how it's cooked underneath. Edges are a little bit more brown. They said you can do cheese or meat, but not both. I mean, they would do both for me, but traditionally people would have one or the other. Let's go for it. Half doughy, half crackery, a hint of lamb flavor, tons of spices. I love how juicy it is. That's our warm-up, that's our appetizer. I'm ready for that main course. Let's bring it down. The main course is here. My man Hussein, the owner of this whole operation, if you couldn't tell from all the pictures, caricatures of him around the restaurant, this is not complete because he has a giant knife and I don't think he's mad at me. So I think he's gonna stab this. All right, epic reveal. He is cutting away the bread. Now, normally, the guests would not have seen anything at this point. So this would be a complete surprise as to what's inside. For me, it's a second surprise. Oh, yes. I have a feeling he's gonna feed me. We've got some bread. He can put some meat in there. Oh my God, it's succulent, it's soft, it's so delicious. Like the oil is caking my lips right now. This is rib meat.
Yes, kaburga.
Oh my God, it's like barbacoa. Are there spices on here?
No spices.
No spices.
Salt ve kuyruk yağı.
They put some of the tail fat in there to help give it flavor, but really the meat has so much flavor already. It doesn't really need any help. It's just like barbacoa that I had in Mexico, and it is outstanding. He's making airplane sounds. This is like a meat masterpiece. One of the best lambs I've ever had in my life. I think I can feed myself from here on out if you'll allow me to. I've got some gloves right here of my own. You don't have to have gloves, but I also don't want my hands to smell like lamb because then I'm gonna have stray dogs following me. The dogs here are huge and it's because they eat tourists. The neck is really one of my favorite parts. I just want to eat it as it is, like this. Incredibly soft. You can see here, it's just so full of musculature and meat. It's been sitting here for a long time and it is still insanely hot. Put some neck meat on the cracker. It's stupid good. It is incredibly rich, as you can imagine. I'm super impressed. It's one of the most interesting places I've ever been to, especially to eat lamb. Nobody does it like this place. Delicious lamb flavor, a little bit of salt, and a lot of care, love, and time given to each body part as they cook it. 10 out of 10, highly recommend.
When it comes to meat in Istanbul, we're just getting warmed up. Soon I'll reveal record-breaking meat masterpieces. I'm talking kebabs over 5 feet long.
The fact that this is hanging on to this metal rod is like a miracle of physics. It's taller than a dwarf.
And a meat tower that weighs over 300 pounds.
That is the biggest piece of meat I've ever seen. It could be a meatball for King Kong.
But every tower, even a meat tower, must begin with a strong foundation.
The kebab man himself right now, he's building a big, beautiful tower. Now, I used to think it was called the doner kebab because the lamb or the chicken or the cow donated their body to the meat tower. Turns out, no, that's completely incorrect and stupid.
The doner in doner kebab means to rotate. So doner kebab literally means rotating roasted meat. It can be served straight up on a plate, on bread, or in a wrap.
Here, he's making one with about 80% beef, 20% lamb. It takes about 2.5 hours to get this stacked all the way up to here. The way this thing is built, it's kind of layered. Right here we have beef, right here we have fat from the lamb, and so he's doing a huge fat layer right here, and then he's gonna pile on even more beef. So this has been marinating. The white stuff is yogurt, and then there's a bunch of their own seasonings inside as well. Talk about meat curtains. All this meat together, it's about 200 kilograms, which is 440 pounds of meat. That's 2 of meat, tightly condensed, stacked on here. So he's stacked up about half the meat at this point, and I was wondering what was gonna happen if they were gonna cook off all these loose ends, but no, he carves it off. My guess is that he's gonna recycle it and kind of put it up top and still keep it within the giant meat log. Let's see if I'm correct. Yes, it still gets used. It's gonna become the core of this giant doner kebab. And when he chips away at the edges, you can really start to see the stratification of protein and fat here. Beef, lamb, beef, lamb. That looks awesome. After this is all piled up, they start to roast it. Obviously, the heat source will come from here, but you still can't start eating it immediately. They still have to roast the whole outside layer, which takes another 30 to 45 minutes. So all in all, it's about 3.5 hours from the beginning to the point you actually get to eat something from here. It's a lot of work. Take a look at this. It is the most giant doner kebab I've ever seen in my life. They've capped this thing off with just pure fat so it can drip down and keep this whole thing moist all day. Right now they're making my kebab with lavash. We've got chilies, tomato, and then a bunch of meat. He rolls it up like a little burrito or like a kebab, really. Puts it in the paper, no sauce, no nothing. That is done. Right here we have my first Turkish kebab ever. These shops are everywhere. That, though, is the biggest piece of meat I've ever seen. It could be a meatball for King Kong. Let's take a look here. I got just a plate with some of those green peppers and tomato. That comes with this piece of bread, or you can get it in here. This is called lavash. Lavash is a super thin bread. It's like a Middle Eastern tortilla. What surprised me is when I used to get kebabs is they put like a white garlic sauce inside. Here, no sauce at all. And so I'm wondering if it's gonna be dry. Let's give it a try. The bread is already awesome. It's soft, it's not dry at all. It's so stretchy. This is gonna be my first beefy bite. Let's go for it. Oh, wow. It's so juicy. It has its own natural juices inside, which does plenty to lubricate. Oh no, it has a runny nose. It's dripping. Inside, you can see some of the beef, the chilies, the tomatoes are super soft now, and I think they're adding even more moisture to the wrap. The seasonings are interesting. Not super strong flavors, but you can definitely taste the presence of the lamb. I want to wash it down with a little bit of this yogurt juice. Oh yeah, yogurty. Just in case, I wanted to get the meat alone, just to really get the full essence of the meat. Combination of juicy meat plus the char. Some of these little blackened bits carry so much flavor with them. So it's very satisfying, even without the bread. An interesting combination. I've never had beef and lamb put together like that. So I think if it was just lamb alone, it might feel a little bit too intense, but the beef and the lamb play off each other very well. My first kebab here in Turkey, a big win. We have come to our next meaty location. I am in the middle of a meat tornado here, and this right here is a freaking horizontal kebab. We've seen the vertical kebabs. Flip it on the side, add 100% lamb, and they call it ja kebab.
Chag kebab. It's probably the earliest form of rotating kebab, going all the way back to the 18th century. The word chag means spit or skewer, hence the name of the kebab that consists of meat impaled on a huge spit.
Let me show you step by step how it works. Here we have the fire, and then here obviously we have the giant, big, beautiful meat log that gets rotated occasionally. The pieces here that are cooked, they're gonna shove a skewer through it and cut it off like that. That hangs out down here for a little bit until it's ready to go over here. This is a grill that's gonna really put the final char on the meat. After they hit it with the final char, boom, it moves over to here. Each of these plates is gonna get a little bit of lavash, that super thin bread. Take a look at that. This is one of man's modern marvels. Oh, he's gonna beat me. Huh? Oh my Lord. Wow. It's so drippy, juicy, succulent. It's just like chipped lamb. Little thin pieces. You don't need that much. And it is exploding with flavor. Incredible. We have a beautiful double course right here. Actually a triple course. Usually they give you 2 skewers per plate. We got 3 per plate, 2 plates, some salads, some yogurt. There's a strawberry on the bottom. You just have to mix it up. No? Oh, no, I'm getting the head shake. No, it's a different type of yogurt then. Boom. The shape of this is brilliant because they just kind of tap it and keep it from sticking to the steel of the grill. Huh? It's so good. Super simple, straightforward seasonings. You can just feel the fat oozing out of it. I would love to see the vegan version of this. Good luck. Try it with the bread. And I'm just gonna rip off some of this. The bread's really soaking up that oil, controlling some of that richness. Look at this. What, oh, just eat it. Okay, I'll feed myself. Amazing. This man is so seductive. 10 out of 10, ladies. Yeah, could you do it more in slow motion? Don't put that music editor. No, put normal music. What are you doing? The sooner you eat it when it's come off the fire, the better. Just get the meat in your mouth immediately. It needs to be hot. He's back. This is our local tour guide. He's getting a taste too. Adam from culinarybackstreets.com. Book your food tour today. He brought me here. Adam, this was incredible. We got to keep moving. I want to see more. Right now, we've just come somewhere very special. I don't know how to say any of the names of any of the restaurants, but I'll show you the name right here. Boom, that's it. It's been here since 1985, and they are cooking up chicken and lamb in a way that's very unique to Turkey. Here, come with me, let me show you. Right here, this is chicken, while inside of there is chicken. On the outside, they're using rock salt.
Chicken in salt, or tuzda tavuk. It's a traditional Turkish dish originating from the Hatay region of Turkey. Here, it takes the form of a chicken stuffed with rice, then packed with rock salt, cooked in a huge wood fire oven, and finally served with a fire show.
I don't know how that could possibly taste good. You're completely smothering the meat with salt, but somehow it works. And I've heard it's one of the most delicious foods you can have here in Turkey. We're gonna go inside and find out more. Right now I'm in the kitchen with Chef Omar. We've only got 3 elements here to work with: the chicken, some rice, and the salt. And this is gonna become an amazing dish. First, he takes the rice, he puts it in the chicken cavity. Now, it's not good to have cavities, but if you have to have a cavity, you want one like this that you could put rice inside of. So this rice is already par cooked, it's seasoned, it's got some pine nuts and some almonds. He's doing some kind of MMA move with the legs, getting them tied together. And then now it's time for the salt. That is a lot of salt. Chicken goes on top of the salt, and then even more salt goes around the chicken. There's no more salt that could possibly physically fit on this thing. Just kidding, he found a way. He's not really like jamming it on there, but he's allowing it to loosely settle around the chicken. From here, the chef is gonna take it away. We're following him now. So he puts it back in the oven, and that is gonna roast in there for 2 to 3 hours.
While we wait for the chicken to bake, we'll check out their record-breaking kebab and learn why, at least in this kitchen, size does matter.
Here, he's about to make one of the longest kebabs I've ever seen in my life. Our ingredients right here. First, meat. Half lamb, half beef, 2.2 pounds of protein, cheese, pine nuts, and pistachios. He's mixing it, kneading the meat. The way this man moves, he's very meticulous and gentle with his meat. He just gives it a little bit of a slap and then a little bit of water on top. And then we have a piece of rebar from a train track. What is this? He puts his hand in the water just to get a little bit of lubrication, but he doesn't want it to be too slippery either. The fact that this is hanging on to this metal rod is like a miracle of physics. We're already at multiple feet at this point. Oh, no. Okay, it was gonna be 2.2 pounds. Now it's just an even 2. Now he's doing his final move right here. He's kind of putting these divots. If you look closely, each divot actually kind of becomes like a bite. He's literally squeezing his meat here. Now, somehow, this is gonna go on the grill. And there it is. Take a look at that. Boom, right here, we have a measuring tape. We're gonna see the official length right now. It is 143 centimeters, 4'8". It's taller than a dwarf. This thing does not need long, just a couple more minutes, and it's gonna be ready. We're gonna transport this upstairs and try it out. I cannot wait. It is a moment of extraction. He's taken off the entire thing and he's laid it here on this platter. Whoa. This is where it gets complicated. He needs to actually remove the steel. So they're putting bread onto the meat and they're holding down on the meat while he pulls out the steel rod, and it was a big success. Rod extraction complete. Here we have pure meat, no steel to worry about. Time to eat, baby. So I know what you're thinking, that I went to this restaurant and they made this just for me and it's not actually on the menu. False. This is on the menu and it feeds 5 people. And today it's gonna feed me and 4 other people. I'm like proud of this restaurant. I'm like, guys, you did something so cool. On the side, so many different little dips. These sauces are so ornate. Look, I hate cucumber, but it's in a heart shape. I'm maybe coming around. I think I'm gonna start on this side right here. Oh my gosh, you can see the pine nuts right here coming through. Let's try this out, just straight up. Oh. Yeah. Pine nuts on their own have kind of a sharp taste, but here, the taste of the pine nut has just disappeared, and you just get that awesome texture. Oh my God. I love the combination of beef and lamb. You're kind of getting the best of both worlds. It's super juicy, heavy, and then you have a little bit of lamb flavor, but it's not gamey. Here, underneath, they actually put some more bread. This is lavash, and that is brilliant because it's been soaking up all the fat from the meat. I'm gonna break off some pieces here and then pick a sauce. Let's try this. Here we have minced chili peppers that are supposedly a little bit spicy. Put some of that on there. Roast flour, fresh, a little bit of heat. It's really smoky. I think they put some tomatoes in there too, so it's just really a hearty, bold flavor. I love the amount of fresh herbs that they have on here. I'm gonna put some mint in here, some onion, and then let's try this out. This is chilies with walnut. Give that a little bit of a dip. It's a very solid paste. It's like a thick peanut butter. The herbs take it to a whole different level, especially because food here can be really, really heavy, bold, and greasy. And you want a little bit of balance, something to go with it. Onions, herbs, this dip, when you put it all together, is so dynamic and just completely and utterly delicious. Here we have a yogurt. Don't forget to put just a ton of oil in the middle. It looks like an olive oil right there in the middle. I'm gonna get some of this, put that on here. Wow, this is like a smoky eggplant and yogurt together. I don't even like eggplant. That's awesome. I thought this might be a little bit of a gimmick. Like, okay, we have long food, right? But is it good? And look, they have the combination here. It's a double threat. It's long and delicious. If you can learn to dance, it's gonna be the next Beyonce. Triple threat. Already it sings about as well as she does, so.
Right now, our main event, the chicken and salt, is finally complete. Time to head back to the kitchen and check it out.
Does your insurance include chiropracticians? Let's take a look in here. Like so many of the ovens that I've seen in Turkey, the heat is coming from within. So there's a wood fire right there. And they've cooked many throughout the day already for the lunch service. So there's just a few in there right now. Oh, he's gonna pull out one that's already been cooked all the way through. This is not like pulling out bread. These things must weigh 10, 15, 20 pounds each. It is radiating heat right now. It's very, very hot. When you touch it, you can still see some of these grains come off. But if you just touch it like this, it's still pretty hard. Within the hours of roasting inside, it's created this salt shell that soon I'm gonna bring to my table and break myself with my own hands, or probably with a small hammer. Chef, well done. Boom. It's not because of COVID. He's wearing gloves. I don't care about COVID. I'll kiss this man right now. The dish is on the way, chicken insult. Now, I don't know what a chicken insult would sound like. Maybe it's very mean, maybe. This is only funny to me, isn't it? The roller man is over here. It comes on a trolley. Take a look. So right now, he's gonna put on a little bit of some kind of maybe what's a pomegranate juice? Yeah. Okay, there we go. Take a look at this. Who doesn't want to be the guy in the restaurant with a fire at his table? It's like when you get fajitas at Applebee's, but much better. Is there a song, or the fire portion of this event is lasting much longer than I expected? So right now, they're gonna break it open. Even while it's on fire, we're gonna finally see the chicken that's inside. He's got a mallet and a chisel. It's like a prison break. There are just huge, gigantic, really hard pieces of salt here. He's gonna peel them back and reveal the chicken inside. Look at that. I feel like we just resurrected a chicken from its death. It's been baking inside this now very hardened shell of salt. He's got to extract it and get it out onto the platter. Boom. Nice and easy. He splits it open, revealing the rice inside. And this thing is so soft. You see, it took almost no effort to get this off. And that is complete. Thank you, sir. Inside, the first thing you see is this beautiful rice, which still has like kept its shape. It's not mushy. So let's grab a little bit of rice and try that out first. Oh yeah, a little bit salty. It's very light. I would say overall these are more gentle flavors, not really bold flavors, but around you can still have your sauces like this. Eggplant with red peppers. I'm just gonna put that on the rice. That's outrageous. Why is that so good? There's like chunks of eggplant in there that are so soft, almost like a baked apple, and then it's just delightfully smoky. Let's try out some of the meat. This is the chicken breast. Anybody can make a good wing or a leg, but the breast, can you make a juicy breast? Let's find out. Sticky. Not super juicy. I think the chicken breast is better. Mixed with some of the other ingredients, maybe a little bit of rice. That is the skin. That skin has come in direct contact with all that salt. Let's see if it's delicious or completely unbearable and salty. It's delicious. It definitely has a hit of salt, but it doesn't taste like overly salty whatsoever. An amazing texture. Let's rip this leg off. This is one of my favorite parts right here. Oh, wow, it came right off. Super delicious. If you're normal and if you're Turkish, you're gonna be eating this with bread, with the rice, with the sauces or dips around you. You're probably not gonna eat the meat just straight up like this.
So Turkey knows how to handle their meat, but all this meat is, might I say, a bit too normal. Just big chunks of protein and fat. Right now, I'm looking for something a bit more exotic. I'm talking about underappreciated animal parts, like testicles.
These are balls from a lamb, so they're like little baby balls. Ugh, that sounds weird.
And maybe even a bit of intestine wrapped around a pole.
Wow, my wife is gonna love this.
Next, we'll dive into the most delightfully bizarre dishes you can find in this city, starting with raw meat.
One thing I've never had in almost any Muslim country I've gone to is raw meat. But here in Istanbul, in this restaurant behind me, there's a traditional meal that is most certainly raw. I'm gonna go to the kitchen now and check it out. Oh, we are in the kitchen right now with Kadir. How you doing? We're making our raw meat dish right now.
Çiğ köfte. In English, it means raw meatballs, and it's been a part of Turkish cuisine for more than 3,000 years.
First of all, you start with this 100% raw beef, about 1.5 pounds of that, and then now he's gonna put in something called berber. Berber is like a cracked wheat, and actually, usually this dish is made only with the berber and no meat at all. Here we have some dry, dark chili flakes, loads of cumin, and then white pepper. He's gonna chuck a bunch of pepper paste in there. We have tomato paste, big cloves of garlic, onions, and some Roma tomatoes. Now he dumps out everything. Then he's slowly and methodically massaging his meat. It actually makes it look even more bloody somehow. Aha, mixing blade. We've reached the final consistency. He's very happy with it. So they just put in chili oil and sunflower oil, and now it is much more easy to manage by hand. Here we have some spring onions and parsley going in next. It's more or less a salad with a little bit of raw meat incorporated inside. Now he's testing the consistency again by hand, which is important because this is actually how you make the final product, is by squeezing it.
Oh, no, not yet.
You tried to feed my wife. D9, she said absolutely not. Sir, testicular, boom. So now we're in the restaurant kitchen instead of the prep kitchen. And he's gonna make a portion like you would see if you ordered it in a restaurant. So it starts with a base of lettuce, some lemon on the side, and then he goes right in for the meat. He grabs a big glob, and then he starts squeezing out portions and then shaping it with his fingertips. The fingertips are exactly what gives it its distinguished shape, and some parsley on top. And that is the final product. So let's talk about the price. The price here is about 80 lira, a little bit more than $4, which to me seems incredibly reasonable for raw meat. Wait, hold on. Maybe they're pulling one over on us. They don't have to cook the meat. So are we getting savings? Or are we getting scammed? I'll decide later. Now, what they do is they eat it Korean style. What looks like iceberg lettuce, potentially the worst lettuce in the world. Nothing against Turkey. I just have something against iceberg lettuce. I'm gonna give it a little bit of lemon juice. That looks great. And I'm gonna take half a bite because that is a load of meat. I like it. It's so addictive. It doesn't feel overly heavy, even though it's basically all pure meat. The seasonings pop. You taste each seasoning separately. You taste a little bit of cumin, a little bit of pepper, tomato, chilies. They put the oil in there, so it's lubricated. So that is çiğ köfte. On to the next food. Boom, I'm in the kitchen at a brand new restaurant. This is my man Ilgin. Sorry, I just had some Turkish coffee, and I think I might have a heart attack. The coffee is good.
Energy.
Energy, yeah.
Today, the chef has prepared a special, rarely eaten organ. I'm talking about the thymus. The thymus helps young animals fend off diseases, but after about 6 months, it'll slowly disappear. It's considered to be a delicacy, rich with nutrients and full of benefits. But first, an appetizer.
Take a look and try to guess. They're not in a ball shape right now, but these are balls. It's from a lamb, so they're like little baby balls. Oh, that sounds weird.
Baby balls.
Baby balls.
Baby balls.
He was gonna eat it raw. I was so scared because then I would have to. All right, so right here we have sunflower oil and paprika. Pinch of salt. Next, the testicles are gonna be sliced, maybe to make them easier to get the flavors really inside of there. And then he's just really gonna get his hands all over those balls. Once you're done handling your balls, you can put them on the grill. These things are smoking up like crazy. A very fatty organ to begin with. That's why guys can never get down to 0% body fat. Not because of our brain, because of our balls. All right, so right now we're gonna make another dish. Right here, the sous chef is cutting these other testicles into about 4 thin slices. Some salt, boom. Look at these things shriveling up like they just jumped into a cold pool. Now each of the testicle pieces is nearly cooked through, and they're just putting in some beautiful bubbling butter right now. The smell in this kitchen right now is amazing. The butter, the fat, the protein, all of it together. Chef's kiss. A little bit of paprika. While that's cooking, this clay pot will be its final home. It's getting super, super hot right here. Move the clay pot, wipe it out. Boom. All right, it goes in there without incident. This is one of the most beautiful testicle recipes I've ever seen in my life. Take a look at that. Boom. Okay, we have our meal right here. Testicles 2 ways, plus the thymus, plus this is unofficial national drink of Turkey. And I know what you're thinking. What? Alcohol? But isn't this a Muslim nation? That's what's so fun about Turkey. It has all the hospitality of a Muslim nation, but all the alcohol of a non-Muslim nation. It's fantastic. So, when you smell it, it kind of smells like black licorice. But I'm told if you mix it with water, oh geez, what? It turns white? Let's try it out. Oh, and it tastes very sweet, but I bet that would go perfectly to cleanse the palate after having some balls in your mouth. I'm really impressed with the preparation here overall. They'd already done all the hard work of skinning it and filleting it. Filleting. When I think filleting a testicle, it makes me wince a little bit. Smoky, a bit fatty, but not like pure fat. Like it's gotten a little more dense from cooking it. Not very strong flavors, just a little bit of salt and paprika. I like it. These are fantastic. I bet you could give this to people and they would have no idea they're balls. So this is the other dish. It's in this hot clay bowl. These balls soak up all of the butter. And so they're just completely saturated with buttery goodness on the inside. That is seriously delicious. The way the butter has seared the outside of the skin, giving it almost like a little bit of a crust, and then you bite into it, and it feels kind of meaty. It's not too fatty or jiggly, and it's just full of buttery flavor. If that's too intense or rich for you, you just cleanse your palate with this.
Now, back to the thymus. I'm heading back to the kitchen to see how it's prepared.
This is the thymus from a lamb. That's 7 different lambs accounted for right here. And do you want to tell us some facts about this?
Burada 7 kuzunun uykuluğu var. 7 tane kuzu. Direkt afrodizyaktır.
Oh, I heard aphrodisiac. Wow, aphrodisiac is helps with the manpower. Wow, my wife is gonna love this stuff. Or hate it. All right, so one by one, he starts to put them on the grill. It looks like a very straightforward method of cooking. He's gonna slice these open a little bit, I think, so they cook a little bit faster. Where now he's gonna give them a little bit of a flip. You can see already they have some color to them. He has marinated them with sunflower oil and a little bit of paprika, turning them a little bit orangey pink. So now these are all gonna get brushed with a little bit more oil and a little bit of salt. He said if I started business selling thymus in the USA, he wants a cut. That probably will not happen soon, I'm sorry. What's interesting is that recently I went to Paris, France, where they also serve thymus, but from a calf. And it is like kind of a luxury dish there. They put it on bread and they have a beef gravy and they really dress it up. And it costs like 30, 35 bucks. This right here, plenty of thymus action on $5.50. That's a great deal on thymus. Wow, I didn't think I'd find something like this in Turkey. This is awesome. The outside is like a sausage casing. Like it's a bit leathery, then the inside feels like a finely ground sausage filling. It has no funkiness whatsoever, very clean taste. I think people come here for the texture and of course, for the male stamina. Anyways, this is one of my new favorite organs and something that's gonna be very hard to find in the future. I'm so excited about our next location right behind us where they're selling kokoreç. Turkey is a huge fan of rotating meat. It can be vertical, it can be horizontal, or it can be intestines. We're gonna go get a closer look right now.
Kokoreç is a dish consisting of lamb or goat intestines, wrapped around seasoned offals, including sweetbreads, heart, lungs, and kidneys. This perfectly wrapped work of art roasts slowly over charcoal, giving the intestines their signature crunch.
All these strands, these are not noodles, this is not fettuccine. This is all intestine. So one of the dishes we're gonna get today is this right here. It is a quarter loaf of bread that is stuffed with that minced intestine and organs. The first thing he does is he takes these big logs of organs, he chops them up, and then he minces them into little pieces and throws that onto the flat top. He gets a tomato, he cuts that up, throws that on the flat top too, and then that's gonna fry along with the rest of the meat. Here we've got the toasted bread, minced organs and intestines inside. So that is our meaty, fatty filling. Now that needs to get some spices. First, oregano, red chili flakes, a little bit of salt, and a hit of cumin. So now we're getting our main courses right here. First, I want just big fat slices of this log. That is gonna hit the flat top. In the center, that is like basically pure fat. So hopefully this helps it crisp up a little bit. All right, with our meat finish, it's going on the platter, and that looks like food. Hit it with some oregano, hit it with the red chili flakes. It's important to go about 3 feet above the platter. Salt and a little bit of cumin. Sir, thank you. Can't wait to try it out. Let's go for it. Boom, the most creative use of intestines I've seen maybe ever in my life. Before we even start, I wanna try this. This is fermented turnip and purple carrot juice. Sounds healthy. It's good. You could pickle yourself from the inside, I think, if you drank all of this. Our first course right here. That looks rich. To me, the outside looks awesome because it does look super crispy, brown, crunchy. The inside is heavy as heck. Let's find out. Oh, no way. It's delicious. It's not gamey at all. It's wonderfully crispy, chewy on the outside. Inside, yes, very rich, but just really nice flavors. I love this. This is like pure fat in the middle. And so that texture might bother some people because it does get real fatty. If that bothers you, I would say just eat some of this edge piece, cut out a little of the fat, but the fat mixed with the crunch, it's awesome. The oregano adds a lot of flavor. There's the salt. The guy added cumin for days, but it doesn't taste over cumin-y, if that is such a word. And then if you need to cleanse your palate after that, you can have a pickled chili. Why do I keep doing this? Look, if I like that, then I'm good. Because they put that log into this sandwich right here. This is the quarter loaf. You can kind of see right inside all those beautiful ingredients. This is the new drunk food. One of the best uses of intestines ever. And if it gets too rich, you can just take some pickle juice. Final thoughts. As soon as I tried this in its original unique form and I liked it, then I knew whatever they put it on would be good. You can get it on flatbread, you can get it just chopped on a plate, however you want. It is fantastic. I think there's something about the lamb. It's young, it's innocent. As soon as it hits like 3 months, they're like, well, I hope you had a good life. Chopping block. Bam. And here it is. And it tastes great.
If these daring dishes weren't enough for you, we have more in store. Next, we're turning up the intensity with cooking techniques hidden deep in Istanbul basements. And I'll challenge my palate with an animal organ I never even knew existed.
It looks like it has an alien face on the end.
Our frightening food journey continues here.
When it comes to finding and eating bizarre foods in Muslim countries, it's not that easy because food here has to be halal, and that means no weird stuff. No bugs, no reptiles, no blood. But here in Turkey, specifically at this restaurant right behind me, I think I've met my match. It's an organ. I'm not going to tell you which organ it is. We're going to go into the kitchen in a moment, meet the chef, and find out. A word about the chef. This guy's on TikTok, 8 million followers. He loves the attention, he loves the spotlight, he loves to host, and he does it best when he's making incredible food. Let's go inside and check it out. We're in the kitchen with celebrity chef Mehmet. This place is amazing. They have so many different unique foods and some foods that are maybe borderline bizarre, which you're going to see soon. This is called şırdan. Do you know what organ it is?
Şırdan. This weird-looking piece of protein is actually the abomasum, which, if you didn't know, is one of the 4 compartments of a sheep's stomach.
This is cı. When you put it all together, it means the guy who makes şırdan.
It's my first time seeing it, but around here, it's a classic. For a more in-depth inspection, we'll let the master himself explain it.
Bu normalde düz halini biz ters çeviriyoruz. Kuzu otu yerken şu yapraklar kan dolaşımını hızlandırıyor. Vücut kaslarını gelişiyor. Cildi güzelleşiyor. Botoks yerine geçiyor.
I think he took over my show. I think my show is in Turkish now.
Onun için burada pirincimizi dolduruyoruz.
Oh, wait.
Okay. You know what? I think I'll take over from here.
What he said is this is one of the most unique organs. It's not an organ that's just for the male lamb. It's on every lamb. This is part of the small intestine, and this is part of the stomach of the sheep. And soon, that is going to get stuffed and create a one-of-a-kind sausage that no one makes better than this man. So he's going to start with the stuffing right here. There's rice, there's fat from the tail of the sheep, and then a load of spices in there too. What makes it extra special is just how it looks, especially by the end after it's done cooking. It looks legendary. After it's been stuffed, we move on to the next step. It's got to be stitched closed. He goes through about 5 or 6 times, getting it nice and tight, so that way when it cooks up, nothing falls out. Oh, should I go for it? All right, well, I'm not a trained surgeon. He said, head it a little bit, be reassured, and then sew it. Oh, and you sew it to the other ones, apparently. We just got a big sausage link full of these. Just like that, you saying it's good enough? Look at that. It's like a horrifying Christmas decoration. Have you seen such a beautiful sight in all your life? There's so many things I want to say right now that I'm not saying out loud. So this would get filled with water and boil until it looks like this. This has been boiling for 3 hours. You can see that the broth has actually changed color because of the spices in here. The red chilies, the spices, it have kind of transferred and leaked into this stock right here. This looks amazing. Look at that. That's a big one. Thank you, chef.
Thank you very much.
Can't wait to try it out. Boom, right here we have our meal. Silverware, right here. And here's the thing, I ordered sausage and I ordered that the intestine stomach thing, and they brought all this. I am not complaining, it looks incredible. Let's do a little tour of the tray. Here, soup. This is a lamb shoulder. Right here, we have a shank, some sauce. It's like a Turkish pico de gallo. We've got other salad, we've got raw onions. I'm gonna tell you about this in a moment. I know, it looks like a testicle, but no, it's not that. We are gonna work our way up to this right here. This is what we got to see in the kitchen. It looks like it has an alien face on the end. First, let's start with this right here. I'm gonna see if I can just break that apart. Yes. So this is lamb intestine. It's filled with lamb meat and rice. Let's try it out. Oh, wow. That is a delicious intestine. And on first bite, it gives you a little bit of feeling like you're eating pepperoni. And then you realize, oh wait, they don't eat pork here. A little bit spicy, a taste of paprika, not gamey at all. Chewy, that's quite delicious. I love it. So that's the sausage. Now this is the chunk of the tripe or sheep stomach. Similarly, it's been sewn shut and then inside it's been stuffed. Oh, now that one's gamey. Okay. Like so many stomachs, it's almost a little fuzzy on the outside, but on the inside, it is just bursting with super savory, salty, seasoned rice. Call me literally insane, but that's pretty good. Okay, I have delayed long enough. I'm gonna get 2 of these. I'm gonna put them end to end and see which one's bigger. All right, that one. Oh, this one just won out. He told me in the kitchen, it's not really the size that matters. He said, for example, if it's a really small one, but it has a good personality and makes a lot of money, no problem. Now these are the weird sack or whatever, it's very wrinkly, and this seems to be like the front. I'm gonna take a bite from that side first. That's pretty good. Super greasy, heavy, chewy intestine, and it's just filled with rice. This rice is a little different. It tastes like there's some cumin in there. Visually, it is a nightmare, but flavor-wise, I'm pretty impressed. Time to take a bite of the stomach side to see how that is. It's a little bit more gamey, softer texture, not as chewy. I forgot to hit it with so much lime. Lemon is the secret. You just have to douse everything here with lemon. That was eye-opening. Here, you might notice an entire freaking lamb head. I'm gonna go back into the kitchen now so the chef can tell me more about how he makes these lamb heads. Let's go. We're back for the final round right here. Sir, this looks amazing. These lamb heads have been boiling with beef bones for 6 hours with spices. He takes them out and then he puts this orange sauce made with yogurt, paprika, and oil. He said there's something very special inside. The brain?
No.
The cheeks?
No.
It's the eyes?
Yes.
The yes. There's an expression in Turkey that says, I eat the white of your eyes. It means I love you so much. That is an interesting saying. Come closer, you can see the eye sticking out here. Oh, he's opening it up. Inside, you can see the tongue right here, the cheeks coming off on each side, and then the under the tongue area, which is one of my favorites. So he's taking off the eyes. He's dipped it in some red chili flakes and some oregano, and then he's gonna put some lemon on it right now. There you go. That is fascinating and delicious. The lemon is a kicker because that is like almost pure fat, super gooey. So now he's peeling out the brain. You can see the brain peeking out and he's gonna hit it until it falls out into his hand in one big lammy brain chunk right there. Take a look at that. Red chili flakes, oregano, hit it with some lemon. That is his move. And then please, enjoy. Okay. Well, there's a lot of brain, very fatty, but the flavors are delicious. And I think I just made out with the lamb and then bit its freaking tongue off. I've never been fed by so many men. That was amazing. Testicular, testicular. We've come here to this location. From the surface, it looks like a normal, modern, everyday restaurant. But what you won't see if you're a regular patron is that the meat is being cooked in the basement in a pit.
This is buryan. It's like Turkey's version of barbacoa. Lamb meat cooked low and slow, hanging from some sort of medieval torture device, roasting for hours, making the meat incredibly soft and succulent. Lucky for me, they have a new batch deep in their basement, and we get to see how it looks when it first comes out.
We're gonna go downstairs to check it out right now before they pull the meat out. Let's go. Follow me. So we're down 1 floor, but it's down even more than that, down to the B2 levels. This is a room, it looks like a vault. Come take a look. Underneath this huge lid, you'll find big strips of lamb hanging that have been cooking inside of this pit for hours and hours. It's a steel pit, the heat is radiating off here, and then you can see they sealed it shut with some kind of a mud that's kind of dried and caked on at this point.
These cooking pits can be anywhere from 6 to 12 feet deep. In order to retrieve the meat, you'll need a stainless steel meat rack, and even better if it's connected to an electronic cable.
I'm here right now with the owner, Levant, and he is chipping away at the exterior here. All the mud that's been dried and caked on, that is coming off. It's a beautiful garden shovel he got at a garage sale. Next, they want to sweep away as much of the dirt as possible so it's not going to drop into the pit or affect the meat in any way. This is the moment right here. Let's do it. 2, 3. It is like a sauna in here. Just a huge burst of steam came out of this thing. So hot. Wow. You literally have a cable machine so they can hook the lamb and bring it up. Oh yes. Have you ever seen anything like it? It's tremendous. Whoa. Oh, one piece almost fell off. They got to save it. It almost fell down into the pit. So this is all lamb. Oh, thank you. He's gonna. It's so hot. So he just cut off a little piece for me. That's unbelievable. Super juicy, no spices. It's lamb, but it's not like overly lammy or gamey. Next up, we have the extraction. They are gonna carry this up to the dining room floor. This is gonna drip grease everywhere. I cannot wait to see how this works. Oh my God, that is over 200 pounds of meat. So far, not much oil on the ground. Up another flight of stairs. We're almost to the main level. All the customers are gonna be shocked. They're gonna see this giant work of art. Now the Passover. They hoist it up, they give it to this gentleman right here. There we go, we gotta get it onto this final hook. Boom, mission complete. Take a look at that, that is incredible. Right now we're going back down because something's still remaining inside the pit. This is a huge copper vessel filled with ribs, I'm told. Take a look at that, this thing is giant. All this right here is still bubbling away. This looks incredible. And this is quite the tool here. This guy deserves a raise. Right now, we have all of our meat here in the kitchen. This is what everyone gets to see when they come here. The meat's hanging here, he cuts it off, he weighs it, and brings it over here. He's gonna cube it up on this piece of bread with a little bit of a salt. This is the braised lamb right here. A little bit of salt. Ooh. Both of these head into the oven to warm up a little bit before they're served.
While we wait, let's have a peek at one of this restaurant's signature side dishes, the perde pilaf, or curtained rice, a fragrant peppery pilaf wrapped in a thin pastry shell, then baked inside a cup-shaped mold.
Let me walk you through our side dish. It starts right here with a pile of dough that gets rolled out. Then we have these buckets here. They're full of butter, and then there's some almonds on the bottom. Put the dough into the bucket. Here we've got the rice is full of pine nuts, currants, and spices. Then chicken on top, and more rice after that. Fold it over, rip off the edges, and that gets some aluminum foil, and it's gonna head off to the oven. Our bucket of chicken and rice has come out of the oven. It's cooked. It is looking nice and crispy on top. And he's gonna toss that upside down right here. Boom, take a look at that. Flipped upside down, that is gorgeous. And out of focus. Take a look at all you see right here. First of all, more liquid yogurt. Over here, a walnut salad with tomatoes and real pieces of walnuts. Right here, this is how it's supposed to be. It's like a pineapple upside down cake. I want to break this down and figure out how it looks and it tastes inside. Oh yes, that is epic. There's chicken, there's rice inside, there's even more almonds, there's the currants, and then a bread shell. Try it out. The outside is so toasty. It has a nice crunch, and then the rice is nice and greasy. It's so fun how they put some simple, straightforward ingredients together in a really entertaining and delicious way. Cleanse the palate. Here, two different types of meat. The skin, it's so interesting and unique. You usually don't see lamb skin kind of puff up and get such an incredible texture like this. Best lamb skin ever. The skin is so crunchy, the meat is so heavy. You can take the bread underneath. It is both your plate and an eating utensil. Take a little of this meat that is just falling apart. This is so incredibly soft, and it just has a texture like no other lamb I've tried before. But then we got this right here. This should be completely different. Braised meat. All the drippings from that hanging meat dripped down into a pan that was sitting below. It ended up helping to cook this meat. Moment of truth, it's gonna be so different. Oh my God. A little bit of salt to bring out the flavor, and that is it. Not gamey, tender, juicy, but a different experience. It's more fatty. It doesn't have that crunchy skin. No matter what, it's just simply delicious.
To pair with an unusual day of eating, Turkey's most famous unusual dessert. A dessert that consists largely of pure cheese.
This dessert is something I've seen in videos, I've seen in movies, I've seen it in pictures. It's cheese combined with sugar.
I'm talking about kanafe, and at this restaurant, they're making them huge.
I know what you're saying, oh, a cheesecake, that's also a dessert with cheese. No, it's a stretchy cheese dessert, and I've never been able to try it my entire life because where I live, there aren't a lot of Turkish restaurants, and if there are Turkish restaurants, they're just serving kebabs. Let's go inside and check it out.
Kanafe is a dessert popular all throughout the Middle East. It's a delicious, rich treat with layers of pastry and soft cheese bathed in a thick syrup.
We are in a room dedicated to making kanafe. Right now we're on this big steel pan. He spins it like the Wheel of Fortune, and then he takes this big bucket of batter right here, and then he slowly dispenses the liquid down onto the steel platter, cooking it rapidly as it falls down on there. He sees when it's ready, then he brings it over to here, and we have a huge pile of it. And this is going to be essentially the carbohydrate portion of this dessert. All right, right here, butter. You're wondering why that butter is brown? It's because it's already mixed with sugar. That is our base. This is going to be some heavy food. Then these are those little bread noodles they were making earlier. So now he uses a big wooden paddle to really push everything down as much as possible. He says the first part is complete. Next, smoke break. Oh wait, what? All right, so he puts on the fire. This is gonna cook on here for about the next 10 minutes. And what's cool about this burner is not just that it's huge, but it also rotates so it can cook everything evenly. I know what you're thinking. Why don't they just put a little engine on here and it can spin automatically? Well, they do have an engine. He's right here. The hardest part about this job is not the repetition, it's not the precision, it is the heat. It's probably about 90, 100 degrees in here. It's very humid. It's so much colder in the meat room. Ah, I could sleep in here. Use a piece of steak as a pillow. In just a moment after I cool down, we're gonna get back to that dessert. It's been about 20 minutes since he put everything on top of here. The base has already cooked all the way through, and now it's time for more layers. This is a cheese made from cow milk. It's a cheese made specifically for this dessert, and that is a hefty amount of cheese. This is the cheese right here. Let's try it out. Creamy, definitely tastes like cow milk. Interesting. From here, he's really pushing it down. And then another layer of the breading to go on top. That's gonna get pressed down again with the wood. So now we have this stainless steel, and this looks like pure butter to me. Oh, I know what's gonna happen. We're getting ready for a little bit of a flip. Now check out this move. Step one, he turns on the gas again. He puts the lid on top, gives it a flip. Drops it down, releasing the part that's cooked already. Brown, crispy, beautiful on the bottom. If you're ever wondering how this dish gets two perfect layers of brown on the top and bottom, that right there is how. Right now he's putting on a super hot sugary syrup. You can hear the sugar, the syrup kind of boiling, absorbing into the dish. All right, and right now he's pulling it out. You can see the cheese gooey, melting, stringy. Best day of my life. Oh, it's so good. The cheese is delicious. It's sweet and salty and super stretchy. From here, he's gonna put on a little bit of powdered pistachio. Show me the way. Look how stretchy that is. I knew it, I knew it. It's so delicious. There is this crust on the top, on the bottom. It creates a very unique type of crunch in the texture. And then the cheese in between is so stretchy and so fun to pull and to chew on. I don't know why you're feeding me. I thought we would both feed ourselves. Then to top it all off, it's a very simple sugary syrup inside there too. Let me see what happens when I try to feed the chef. People here in Turkey, very comfortable with themselves. I like it. This is my first time trying it, and I'm getting to try it as fresh as it could possibly be. It just came off the stove. I can hardly hold the plate up right now. It's burning my hand. 10 out of 10. One of the most unique, incredible desserts I've ever seen in my life. Well done. You got a little bit right. I'm not gonna, you gotta get that yourself.
If street side dining isn't your thing, no worries. Next, we're heading to one of the most over-the-top expensive restaurants in Istanbul. You've heard of Salt Bay, right? This guy? Well, right now, I'm headed to his very first restaurant. A restaurant known for sky-high prices.
Take a look at this. They have an image of Salt Bay actually on the cutting board.
And far-out food preparations.
Oh no, look at this. He's putting cheese all over it. This is stunt food right here.
In our final video, I'm gonna see if I can spend over $1,000 at Salt Bay's restaurant. Time to dine.
There's so much meat here. I'm hoping I can come back and show you all this huge, crazy meat selection here. I feel like I'm in a butcher shop. And wine too. Take a look at the wine. Boom, we've just come into the restaurant. They don't seem to care that we're shooting, although the music is super, super loud. Good luck, editors. First look at the menu. And on the first page, they have their gold page. The most expensive thing I see here is the tomahawk, covered in gold. It's 5,500 lira. That's just under $300 for that giant tomahawk. Not bad. I don't know. I think that same exact steak in the USA, I think it would be 3 times as much money. If you get the non-gold version, that is under $100. So putting the gold on there makes it a lot more expensive and probably does a lot for the flavor. Not actually. For round one, I'm gonna get the golden cappuccino, and then I'm gonna get the most expensive starter I could find, which looks to be this right here. Steak tartare coming in at 540 liras. Editor, how many dollars is that? Boom, our first course is here. This is the steak tartare. Take a look at this. They have an image of Salt Bay actually on the cutting board. And then our meat is in the shape of a heart. That is a load of raw meat. And then some crackers on the side. I need someone to do some Salt Bay action on this. Boom, here we go. Very nice. I mean, if she did it the proper way, it would go just down her sleeve. Now come take a look at this. What is a golden cappuccino? Well, it's a normal cappuccino, and then they put one slice of gold on top. Let's try it out. Tastes like cappuccino. Let's try this out. This is so much meat for not that much money. Super delicious. Nice seasonings inside, a little bit spicy, savory, nice soft, gooey beefs. 8 out of 10. I'm getting in the mood. Let's do this, baby. So listen, I just got terrible news. I asked them for the most expensive thing on the menu, the golden giant tomahawk. Guess what? They don't have any giant tomahawks right now. They just have medium-sized tomahawks, and that costs under $100. So I'm gonna have to make up for this gap in price by buying wine. Can I see your white wine? They do have some very expensive wines. Let's try this one. Domaine de Henry for Chalmers, Chablaise for Cru Burgundy. That is a long name. try this fancy French wine. Very nice. You guys might think I'm eating with someone, but both these glasses are for me. Boom, course 2, right here. The golden burger. On the menu, all it said was not a burger. That looks like a burger to me. Oh no, look at this. He's putting cheese all over it. They're right, it is not a burger. They just destroyed it. What? This is stunt food right here. The knife's coming out. He cuts it in half. Oh, there's some cheese left over. He's gonna put that on top so it is completely impossible to eat. Boom, right here we have the bloomin' onion. The difference between the bloomin' onion here in Istanbul and at Outback Steakhouse is that this one costs about $6. No gold, but it does look tasty. For this course alone, costs this much. Editor, put it on the screen, please. Boom, there it is. This looks awesome. I'm gonna get to the burger in a moment. Look at that, that looks delicious. And it smells incredible too. It's like an onion ring, but you know, straight. Here's some sauce. It tastes like a dill ranch sauce, really tasty. Here, French fries, no gold, nothing special, but they are so warm, crispy on the outside. They've got this right here is really what I care about. It is a mess. I'm gonna try to find a dry place to put my hand. Everything on here is sticky. Gold, cheese, sauce. There's the inside though. Cooked medium, it looks very nice. Buns are soft, try it out. That's delicious. Let me open it up. It's cheese, ham. They took the ham part very literally. Then caramelized onions, and then the burger, and more cheese and gold. Even the cheese tastes pretty good. Doesn't taste overly processed. The beef tastes like great quality. I'm impressed. I thought it was BS stunt food, and here I am, pleasantly surprised. That's a burger. So we've had 2 items so far from the golden menu, the cappuccino and the burger. But next I'm gonna go with the golden asado. It says it's an 8-hour roasted, 24-karat gold coated, juicy and tender short rib. That sounds good to me. Right now as they're preparing our third course, I wanna take you to the butchery area to show you all the meat this place has, although they don't have big tomahawks. Let's go. Right here, Salt Bay merch, real gold bricks, protected behind a 1/4 inch of plastic. No one's getting in there. Take a look at this. Here we've got lamb chops. We've got some kind of a kebab here. This looks like the mini tomahawks. Here, sausage. I think that's just for decoration. And then we have some, what looks like tenderloin here. On this side, now that is a tomahawk. They look like they're being aged in there, but that's not for us today. Oh, here we go, here we go. Oh, look at these ribs. And then he's about to do something. Oh, here we go, dry ice. He's gonna take the bones out of the rib now. He gives it a little bang bang. And then he stabs it. What is the purpose? Oh, it's time for some salt? Oh, very nice. I love the showmanship. It's incredible. So he's gonna cut it so it's a lot easier to eat. Oh no, the gold, the beauty, it's gone away so quickly. Being in Turkey, everything's about the demonstration, coming to your table and making it interesting. Oh no, we're losing fog. Gosh, I mean, the depression is setting in. It was such a high when they came to the table and the gold was there and there was the smoke. And now, I mean, I'm really coming. Take a look at this right here. These short ribs are so soft and they've been braised so long, you can just easily cut it with a fork. I'm gonna scoop that up. Yes, let's try it out. Super soft, tender, moist, and super fatty on the inside. I gotta say, the gold, it does look fairly pretty. This is, of course, beef ribs. You're not gonna find a lot of pork ribs here in Istanbul. Not a lot of pork eating going on, but hey, I love a good beef rib. You would think all that salt they're throwing on there would be too salty, but no, it is just right. Just for this course right here, it costs this much. And that's the gold version. There are cheaper versions, you don't get the show, but I refuse to not get the show. We are 3 courses in. I'm starting to get a little bit full. We have a couple more options here on the golden menu. Right here, golden kuzu kafes, also known as a 24-karat gold-coated rack of lamb. You have to get lamb while you're here. Oh my God, people in Turkey love lamb so much. Sheep? No. It has to be young, innocent. You have to be able to look into its eyes and see the purity of the lamb, and then you know it's time to eat its ribs. Let's do this. Our next course is right here, boom. That is an entire rack of lamb completely covered in gold. This thing is ridiculous. It is such a shame he's about to destroy this thing right now. Look at that, just piece by piece, cutting it, stacking it. It looks incredible. I gotta say, I'm starting to really like this golden color too. This appears to be part of the tenderloin here. He kind of cut the crust or the skin off of it. He's cutting that down into tender, little delicious, juicy pieces. And then, boom, salt shower coming down. He salted me a little bit too. The last move right here, he takes the oregano and he lets it just snow down. That is incredible. So I think this is the same kind of meat that's on here. Oh, look at that. Gold, some pink on the inside. It is literally dripping with lamb juice. Oh, such a different flavor from anything we've experienced so far. This is lamb meat, but it's not gamey at all. Real clean flavor, super smoky and juicy. Let's take a look at these. I just want to grab like the biggest one from the pile. Oh, I mean, you can see the gold still on the rib. That kind of gold is actually not that easy to handle. It is very finicky. All right, I'm gonna pull this off. Oh, looks perfect. Oh my gosh. It is hard to improve on that. This is what those vegan scientists will never be able to reproduce. There's a certain type of juiciness in here that speaks to your prehistoric primal urges. The fat right along the bone, super delicious. So this whole thing right here, it's about 200 bucks. It is not cheap, but I gotta say, this is some of the best quality, most delicious lamb I've ever had in my life. There's one more dish I must try. This is the golden steak, coming in at about 100 bucks. Now, if it was up to me, I'd get the giant tomahawk, but they don't have that in stock right now. So let's go golden steak and finish big. Oh God, here it is. Yes, take a look. Boom, the final golden steak is shaped like America. It's shaped like freedom. Right here's California, Nevada. Oh yeah, we're missing Florida. Take a look at this. The way he cuts these beautiful thin slices of beef. It's sparkling, it's beautiful. Oh, he gives it a little bit of a hit. Yes, show that meat who's boss. The salt appears magically. We don't have the original Salt Bae, but we have a pretty good replacement over here. That looks fantastic. Come on, more smoke. More smoke, more magic. What I love here is there's no sauce, there's no nothing. It's just gold and salt. I'm gonna dig right into the middle. It looks delicious. Oh. Amazing. It's nice having some lamb and then some beef again. They're both equally juicy, nice clean flavors. I'm sure there's some kind of sauce if you want steak sauce, but no, why ruin it? It's pretty much perfect already. What's interesting is like most steakhouses have pride themselves as, oh, this is the finest whatever meat from the region of whatever. Here they say our precious cut meat, which already means nothing, coated with 24 karat gold, the end. Meat from where? What cut? What part of the cow? From what country? What grade of beef? Shut your mouth, don't worry about it. But I gotta say, have some trust while you're here. Delicious. So let's do a quick price comparison for those of you who think this place might be a ripoff. If you get the golden steak, like I did here, it's 2,200 lira, a little bit over $100. But this is actually, they just told me, it's the New York steak. So that is 300 grams, a good sized steak for 780. So if you get it without the gold, and then of course without the show, it is 60% cheaper. So you don't have to be as dumb as me, but my gosh, it makes a good thumbnail. Also, bound to impress your wife's parents in case they hate you. The last thing I want to do is they do have one golden dessert. We're going to try that out last. All right, I've ordered the golden baklava and I have no idea what's happening. This looks like ice cream. This looks like, oh, that's a golden baklava right there. They have a golden layer on top. They have the pistachio in between. He does a little show with the Turkish ice cream. Oh, look at that. This is no average mediocre dessert. He cuts it up into a few different slices. He's doing sound effects. Thank you. And oh, he's taking it away. What is this?
Chocolate cake, raspberry cream nut, Belgian track. Inside mousse. You like?
No. Thank you. Did you see that? They brought extra desserts to tempt me. I didn't even order that and they just put it on the table. Like, I thought he was gonna leave it here. Like, you want that? You look bad. But no, we've got this, the grand finale. And you know what's wild about this? It's not that expensive. It's like 23 bucks. Baklava is essentially, they've got like a fried bread, big pistachio chunks and crushed pistachios in the middle. And then there's a bunch of simple sugary syrup that goes all over all of it. So of course, the famous Turkish ice cream inside. And then gold on top because we're fancy AF. No salt. I'm a little disappointed. At least they could have sent the sugar bay out here. Here we go. Oh my God. Dessert in Turkey is so amazing, so sugary, sweet, bready. They always have nuts involved somehow. Very sweet, wonderful texture, beautiful presentation, and a wild mix of temperatures. It is so cold and freezing. That is totally worth it. That is a big meal. We have been here for almost 3 hours. That is what I call a good time when you're here in Istanbul.
If you made it this far in the video, you can see that Turkish food is dynamic and amazing, and Istanbul is a food lover's paradise. From meat to other meat, and still to other meats. They have it all, especially if you like meat. If you're a vegetarian, no need to apply. Otherwise, besties, that is it for this mega Istanbul compilation. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.
I completely forgot the objective of today's video. I was trying to see if I could spend $1,000. How much should I spend? $830. This is the most expensive meal I've ever bought in my life. Was it worth it? We'll talk about that another time. But I did have a great time. 830 bucks. Did I really spend $830? Oh my God, what am I doing? Boom, guys, that is the end of the video. I want to say a huge thank you to Culinary Backstreets at culinarybackstreets.com for making this happen. They are a food tour company. They're doing food tours here in Istanbul and around the world. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have found all these awesome, interesting, and unique places here in this city. I always recommend doing a food tour. If you're short on time, if you want to get the most out of your time while you're traveling or on vacation, do a food tour and do it here with culinarybackstreets.com. That is it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace.
Welcome to the Best Ever merch store, where you can check out our brand new designs. Best Ever bandanas in black, white, and red. The Please Send Nudes hoodie, pillow soft fabric with a quality custom graphic inlay. And our street food around the world graphic tee. We're now shipping everywhere around the world. Just visit shopbesteverfood.com or click the link in the description below to get your new merch today. A peace.